Hey, Kapper here, and today I'm going to try and implement some more viewer suggestions, even though I'm a little bit doubtful, just because I live here and I see the things that happen with the erosion. This whole part of the country is considered HEL ground, hell ground, according to the USDA, and that's because it's called highly erodible landscape. And that's why they actually pay money for you to build ponds when you have farms with cattle on them. But anyways, I'm going to take one last effort to try and slow down the erosion going into the new lake. I'm going to put some check piles of gravel in here and try to slow it down some more. But let me show you what it has done each time I've changed a rock pile, how it makes its own path. So it's hard to see, but this erosion fence I put up, and the water found its way under it in the very first event. So then I started adding large rock. You can't really see it, half of it's buried right now, but this is all a pile of large rock to where that water was going out and around. Okay, so then what it did there is it made a new path right here. And you could see, just in this short little run of 12 feet or so, the erosion that happens. And that's from it getting around the first two erosion controls. So then down here, this is actually one long barrier of large concrete block and stone that was all fitted nice to the ground. And each rain event, it just cuts a new path through and around it. So the one event it did that, so I plugged that with new rocks. Then on another event, it just cut a big deep one right underneath. And so I'm continually trying to shift the rocks to slow it down. In this area of the country, it's really hard to stop erosion. I used those highway fences up by the pole barn, and the water just runs right underneath them because it's clay and it's steep and we get super heavy rains. But here's a little bit of good news right now. Yeah, you see that green? This is from the third time I planted the dam, and most of it washed out, but that's why I plant it in layers. So the heavier seed, which you could actually see is all in the rows there. I didn't plant it in rows, but the cultipacker packed it down enough to where it wasn't all eroded away. So some of this may slow down if these roots get down here in the next few weeks, but you could see on that back side, I'm not really seeing much green there. So that probably got washed away. Alright, so I'm going to make several of these ditch checks here. The goal is to just try and get the water to slow down or even stop, and then it's going to find its way around, and then it has to start picking up steam all over again. I'm going to put some down here in the gullies that it's cut over here and over here, and just give it a try and see if we can reduce some of the erosion or not. Okay, so starting up here a little higher, I've got the first check right here. Makes its way around it, goes back into that ditch, and then it hits the next check, which this one, depending on how fast it's going, either is going to slowly go around it or it's going to just make a cut right through the center of that. Then another small one, just because I had the extra gravel in the bucket. And 2 more checks down here at the bottom. That was the very main cut where it was going underneath everything. And this was the secondary cut when it was overflowing going around the side. So on the next heavy rain, I'll keep you posted. Stay tuned to see if it's going to reduce any of the silting or not. It's been quite damaging, but you know, when I was digging the silt out from down there, it really wasn't as much as it looked like. I only pulled a couple dump truck loads out, which is only a couple yards, and I had that mess cleaned up on one of the occasions. So I don't believe it's as much as it looks like. I mean, it just looks really bad here, but if you took and calculated out all these ditches and put them in a dump truck, I'm going to say it's only a couple 3-5 loads with the dump truck, which is relatively small when you're talking about several million gallon lake here. So stay tuned, we'll see how it goes.